Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us today. Today I'm pleased to be joined by Christina Blair, who is the director of the city's Economic Development Department, as well as David Favela, who is the CEO of X Brewing. Today I'd like to provide a couple of highlights. First, great news to help San Diego's small businesses. Second, an update on our Slow Streets program. And lastly, as always, I will highlight the great work that San Diegans are doing to step up and help others. Topic number one, our CARES Act and Small Business Relief Fund. Our city is on the road to recovery. Parks, beaches, and trails are being used responsibly. Local businesses are, of course, preparing to reopen their doors with new safety measures. And the San Diego region continues to press ahead. Yesterday, with my strong support, the County of San Diego formally submitted a plan to accelerate dine-in restaurant services and in-store purchases at retail businesses. The county also submitted a letter to the governor requesting that San Diego begin to safely reopen in phase 3 as a pilot for things like barbershops and hair salons and fitness facilities. These plans and requests are now waiting approval from the governor. But San Diego, we are making tremendous progress. And today, we have good news for small businesses that have applied for the city's financial support. In March, as we've talked about, the city established a small business relief fund, and we launched it to offer loans and grants to businesses that were struggling to make ends meet and to keep open. It really has served as a lifeline for so many San Diego small businesses. We started with $6 million in microloans and grants. And the moment applications opened, we saw unprecedented traffic on the city's website. The demand was overwhelming. And in the end, over 10,000 business owners submitted applications to help sustain their operations. The number of applications, of course, unfortunately far surpassed the resources that were available. And we knew immediately that we needed to try to figure out a way to step up even further. So we sought the help of our corporate partners and generous San Diegans to help really take our funding efforts to the next level. And now even more help is on the way for those original applicants. In my updated budget, which we talked about yesterday, I've set aside an additional $13 million of federal CARES Act funding to help small businesses in San Diego recover. That brings the total that we've made available to San Diego small businesses to more than $20 million. And the money couldn't be coming at a better time as business owners prepare to reopen and adjust to the new normal. Thousands of San Diegans run small businesses, and they employ thousands and thousands of more people, of course. In fact, more than 90% of all of our businesses in the city of San Diego are small businesses. And that's why I called for the creation of a small business relief fund in the first place. And this additional $13 million will help put food on the table for many, many San Diegans. And we are making it available with fewer restrictions so more small business owners will be able to qualify. Now, home-based businesses, independent contractors, and freelance workers are eligible. We know there's a huge need. And I look forward to the City Council approving this action so we can distribute these funds as quickly as possible. I'm now excited to introduce David Favela, who I introduced earlier, CEO of X Brewing. He's a great business in San Diego that has received $10,000 from the fund. David, thank you for you and what your team continues to do to help make our economy run in San Diego. Come on up.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for giving me the opportunity to come here and share our story with you and how important the City Fund was for our business. So my name is David Favela. I'm the CEO of X Brewing. We've been in existence in Barrio Logan for the last 6 years. We were celebrating our first year in Los Angeles as well. We opened our second brewery. And right before the shutdown, we had just been nominated for a James Beard Award. So needless to say, we were expecting this year to be quite important to us. When the COVID crisis hit, we shut down on March 15th, just as other responsible businesses here in the city did. And we weren't sure what to expect, whether it would be a shutdown of a week, a few weeks, or a month. We never imagined that it would go this long, but within 2 weeks, we figured out that we couldn't just wait. And there was no new sources of funding coming in, no new revenue. So we decided to set up an e-commerce site, do deliveries, and that's when we received the funds from the city. They were really vital to kind of give us that second breath, be able to buy the supplies we needed to continue to expand and have some revenue through delivery, which we did responsibly with all of the procedures and guidelines established by the city. And it's made a world of difference. Now we are allowing pickup service as well as delivery, and we are finding a way to pivot from this and adjust, which I think is what small business is about. So we're really pleased. We really thank the city employees. It's very rare that you get an opportunity to see city decisions and policies go into effect that quickly and have an impact like it did. So I want to thank you.
Thank you, David. Great example for you and all of the 15 employees at Border X doing a great job. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to introduce Christina Blair, who's our Economic Development Director, who will talk a little bit more about the program. Christina?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you again, David, for joining us today. I think that Border X is indicative of the spirit of San Diegans, wanting to get and pivot to the greatest need possible so that they can keep revenue coming, so that they can continue to pay their employees. As we look to the future and the mayor making these additional funds available, we understand the thousands of businesses that we've talked to through the application process that perhaps they were too restrictive from the federal funding we received. This is really going to open up that opportunity for the businesses we have worked with to come back to those touch points and to discuss how to move the needle and make them more resilient and sustainable. So we look forward to the opportunity, broadening the program, talking about greater details about how we can assist with your businesses. And thank you to all of the San Diegans who have been patient and talking with my staff about how to learn how to be resilient and sustainable in this new future. So thank you, Mayor, and thank you again, David.
Thank you, Christina, and all the work of the team of the Economic Development Program. This is a program that really is making a huge difference for so many small businesses in our city. Topic number 2 today is an update on our Slow Streets pilot program. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and it's all about how do we help give more space to your place. We implemented the program to give San Diegans the chance to get out, stretch their legs, particularly in some of those areas it's a little bit more congested. We're repurposing certain public streets to create more outdoor space to encourage safe walking, cycling, still following public health rules, of course, for all physical distancing and facial coverings. Got a couple of streets that are in action: Pacific Beach, Normal Heights, North Park, and those have really largely proven successful. Strong neighborhood and community support and a lot of great feedback from the neighborhood residents. They love it. So now we're going to expand this pilot program by adding a slow street in the Emerald Hills community in City Council District 4. And working with the community, we have identified segments of Thule Road and Old Memory Lane as prime locations that become San Diego's newest slow streets. Really like to thank Councilmember Monica Montgomery for proposing these streets and for working with the community on this opportunity. We'd love to continue to explore expanding the slow streets in neighborhoods across the city. As I've said, this pilot program has really caught on. So if you want to share your thoughts on the slow streets plan, or if you want us to consider a street in your neighborhood for a slow street, you can please share it with us. Go to sandiego.gov/slow streets. You can fill out a quick survey, and maybe we'll have one in your neighborhood in the near future. Topic number 3, our last topic today, our continued efforts, as we always do, to highlight San Diegans that are stepping up in this great time of need. Today I'd like to share how one of San Diego's most iconic organizations is stepping up during COVID-19. With so many Friar faithful out there, the San Diego Padres wanted to give back to those in the community who are struggling, obviously, because of COVID-19. Our city is a proud military town, and our Padres have long been proud partners in supporting our service members and our veterans. And if you've been by Petco Park, you'll notice that recent thank you front and center to our frontline workers. And during this pandemic, some of our veterans and service members now face food insecurity or must shop during certain hours to protect themselves from the virus. And the Padres wanted to let them know that the Friars have their back. And for Giving Tuesday, the San Diego Padres partnered with Albertsons and Vons to purchase roughly $10,000 in groceries during the hours reserved for seniors to shop. And in honor of Armed Forces Day, the Padres Foundation partnered with the USO to donate food to more than 2,500 San Diegans and military families. So thank you to the San Diego Padres for stepping up, for all that you continue to do for our community, and particularly for that extra helping hand for our service members and our veterans. With that, that concludes today's updates, and I'm happy to pause and answer any questions from members of the media.
Today's first question comes from Anthony Pura with 10 News.
Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Mayor. I wanted to ask you, there are restaurants and businesses that have actually, unfortunately, had to close their doors during this time for good. What can you say to them, even with the amount of resources available? You mentioned those small business loans, some from the federal government as well, but unfortunately, they've had to close their doors. What can you say about that? Could it be because of some of the stringent restrictions that you talked about from some of these loans, or is it something else? Anything you can say about some of those businesses closing,
thank you, Anthony,
unfortunately?
And agree with you that how important, again, that these small businesses and restaurants are a vital part of our economy. As I talked about a little earlier today, 90% of all of our businesses are small businesses. And the reason that we wanted to move so quickly as a city, in fact, got our dollars out before even some of the federal funding was out, because we recognize that urgency and the importance of businesses like David's. We want to make sure there's an infrastructure for employees to come back to. It's with that sense of purpose, it's with that sense of urgency, and why we're adding more dollars into this, because it is working, it is helping, and it's not going to be enough. But it's incredibly important that I believe that as a city that we do absolutely everything we can for our working families in San Diegans to support these small businesses. So I'm confident the City Council will support this effort, as they have in all of the efforts that we have done with small business, because it is a critical portion. And we need to get these dollars out as soon as possible, in combination with the reopenings that all of us are expecting. We will get that opportunity here in the coming days from Sacramento. I believe that was our only question of the day. Thank you, San Diegans. Thank you for everything that you are continuing to do. I look forward to tomorrow's update. Thank you.